Chapter 1. The Wrong Kind of Date. Cole Harrington stared at his reflection in the restaurant window, trying not to look like someone who'd just spent 10 minutes rehearsing compliments in his head. It was his first blind date. His roommate insisted it would get him out of his shell. Cole wasn't sure what shell that was, but judging by how sweaty his palms were, it was apparently bulletproof. The restaurant was cozy, low lights, warm music, the smell of roasted garlic hanging in the air. Couples filled most of the tables, laughing over wine and pasta. Cole sat near the window, fidgeting with the cuff of his shirt. He checked his phone again. 7:05. His date was late. He wasn't sure if that was good or bad. When the door chimed, Cole looked up, expecting some girl in a floral dress, maybe smiling nervously like him. Instead, his gaze landed on a tall guy walking in with a woman clinging to his arm. The guy was impossible to ignore. Broad shoulders under a black button-up, blonde hair that looked perfectly careless, and a jawline that could cut glass. His presence shifted the whole room. Confident, sure, but something about his eyes tired. They sat at the table next to his. Cole tried not to stare, but that was like telling fire not to burn. The woman spoke first, her voice low but sharp. "You don't even care? Do you, Trent?" Cole froze. "Trent." The guy, Trent, sighed, rubbing his temple. "I care. I just think we're past pretending this works." The words hit like quiet thunder. Cole shouldn't be listening, but his ears refused to stop. The woman's voice cracked. "After everything? You're just done." Trent looked at her. Not cruelly, not coldly, just honest. "Yeah, I guess I am." She stood abruptly, chair scraping the floor. "You're unbelievable." And with that, she stormed out. Trent sat back, exhaling like he'd been holding his breath for years. His eyes flicked toward Cole's table, and suddenly they locked. It wasn't a casual glance. It was full contact. Cole froze, caught mid-sip of water like a deer in the world's most awkward headlights. Trent's mouth twitched, a faint, amused smirk appearing. Cole looked away immediately, cheeks burning. Smooth, Cole. Real smooth. Just then, his actual blind date arrived. A cheerful girl in a pink blouse waved at him from the door. "Cole? Sorry I'm late." He stood, forcing a smile. "No problem." They ordered dinner, talked a bit, or rather, she talked. About her ex, about her cat, about how guys never listen enough. Cole nodded, pretending he wasn't distracted by the deep voice at the next table. Trent was talking to the waiter now, his tone low and steady. Cole could feel it in his chest. He hated himself for glancing sideways. But when he did, Trent was already looking back at him. Eyes calm, unreadable but lingering. The air thickened. Cole swallowed hard, forgetting whatever his date just said. "You okay?" she asked, frowning slightly. "Yeah," Cole lied, forcing a grin. Just, thought I saw someone I know." The lie wasn't far from the truth. He didn't know Trent Hollis, but in that moment it felt like he was about to. When his date excused herself to take a call, Cole leaned back in his seat and caught one last look at Trent. Trent's lips curved in a half-smile, eyes flicking up from his drink. A quiet acknowledgement, like they were sharing some private joke the rest of the world wasn't in on. Cole's pulse jumped. He'd come looking for a girl. But for some reason, he couldn't look away from the guy at the next table. Chapter 2. Interrupted Hearts. Cole had no idea what was worse, how bad his blind date was going, or how often he was checking if the guy from the next table was still there. The girl, Tara, he thought her name was nice enough. Chatty. Too chatty. She'd been talking for 10 minutes straight about her ex-boyfriend's communication issues, which felt like an ironic confession considering she hadn't let Cole get a word in since the appetizers arrived. "So anyway," she said, sipping her wine, "he texted me a week later like nothing happened. Can you believe that?" Cole blinked, forcing a polite smile. "That's, crazy." His eyes drifted again sideways to the next table. Trent was still there, alone now, elbows on the table, fingers absently tracing the rim of his glass. The candlelight painted golden edges along his hair, softened his sharp profile. He looked thoughtful, quiet, but not sad. more like someone taking a breath after a storm. Cole's stomach twisted, not with sympathy, but curiosity. Who was this guy? And I told him, you can't just ghost me and then show up like nothing happened. Tara continued, stabbing her fork into her salad like it had personally betrayed her. Cole nodded automatically. Right? Totally. He was so distracted, he didn't notice Trent's gaze lifting again. This time, their eyes met, clean, direct, no hesitation. Cole felt heat rush to his neck. Trent didn't look away. He held Cole's stare for a long, loaded second before the corner of his mouth lifted slightly, like he knew exactly what effect he was having. Cole nearly dropped his fork. Tara frowned. Are you even listening? He snapped his attention back. What? Yeah, of course. The, ghosting. Super rude. Her smile returned, oblivious. Right? He tried to focus. Really, he did. But every word from her mouth faded beneath the sound of Trent's low voice as he thanked the waiter. Every shift of Trent's shoulders pulled Cole's eyes like gravity. It was ridiculous. He's a stranger. Stop staring at him, he told himself. When Tara's phone buzzed, she sighed dramatically. Ugh, my roommate locked herself out again. I should probably go help her. Cole didn't even pretend to be disappointed. Oh, that's fine. Totally understand. She stood, brushing down her skirt. You're sweet, Cole. We should hang out sometime. Sure, he said. They wouldn't. The moment she left, the restaurant felt quieter, the air lighter. Cole exhaled, glancing around, and froze when he realized Trent was standing up too, sliding his card to the waiter. Their eyes met once more, and for the first time, Trent smiled fully. Not the polite, practiced kind. The kind that said, yeah, I caught you looking. Cole's heart skipped. Then Trent started walking straight toward him. Cole straightened in his seat, nerves firing in every direction. No way. No way he's... Rough night, Trent asked when he stopped beside his table, hands casually in his pockets. Cole blinked up at him. Yeah. You could say that. Trent's gaze flicked to the empty chair opposite Cole. Blind date. Yeah. Cole grimaced. Crash and burn. Trent chuckled softly. You're not the only one. Mine ended about 30 minutes ago. I noticed, Cole blurted, then immediately wanted to crawl under the table. I mean, not that I was watching or anything, just, sound carries. Trent's smirk deepened, eyes glinting. Sure it does. For a moment, neither spoke. Just the soft clatter of dishes and faint jazz filling the background. Then Trent said, I'm Trent. Cole's voice came out quieter than he intended. Cole. Nice to meet you, Cole, who wasn't watching me. Cole laughed, the tension breaking a little. Nice to meet you too, Trent, who was breaking up in public. Trent's grin widened. Touché. He slid his hands from his pockets, thumb brushing his wrist nervously, an oddly human gesture for someone who looked like he was born confident. You, need a ride? It's late. Don't feel like letting you walk home after all that excitement. Cole hesitated, mind racing. Do not say yes. You just met him. You don't know him. He's way out of your league. Sure, Cole said before his brain could catch up. That'd be great. Trent's eyes warmed, that small, knowing smile returning. Come on then. As they stepped out into the cool night air, the city lights glowed around them, reflecting off puddles from an earlier rain. Cole followed Trent toward a sleek black car parked under a street lamp, wondering what exactly he'd just gotten himself into. All he knew was that his pulse hadn't slowed since the moment their eyes met. And for the first time all night, he didn't want it to. Chapter 3. The Ride Home. The night air carried the faint smell of rain and asphalt as Cole followed Trent to the parking lot. Every step felt too loud, too aware. Trent clicked his keys, and the car lights flashed. A sleek black sedan that fit him way too well. Cole whistled softly. Nice ride. Trent shot him a sideways grin. You expected a bicycle? Cole shrugged. You've got the look of a guy who could pull that off. All mysterious and casual, with a helmet and a tragic backstory. Trent chuckled, unlocking the doors. You've got me all figured out already, huh? Give me a few more hours. Cole said, trying to sound playful. His voice came out quieter than intended. They got in. The car smelled faintly of cedar and something warm. Cologne? Probably. And the soft hum of the engine filled the silence. Streetlights passed in golden flashes across Trent's face, and Cole couldn't stop glancing at him. He wasn't even subtle about it. Trent caught him once and smirked. "What?" Cole asked, embarrassed. "Nothing," Trent said. "Just wondering if you're this talkative with all your failed blind dates." Cole scoffed. "That was my first one. Then I guess it went perfectly. You met me." Cole laughed under his breath. "Cocky much?" "Confident," Trent corrected. "There's a difference." Cole tilted his head. "Right? And how's that working out for you tonight, Mr. Confident?" Trent turned at a red light and looked at him, really looked. "So far, not bad." Cole swallowed. His heart thumped so loud he was sure it filled the car. The light turned green, but Trent didn't break the stare right away. When he finally did, Cole exhaled slowly, like he'd been holding his breath for too long. They drove in silence for a few minutes, though it wasn't awkward. The kind of quiet that hums between two people who know they're about to step over a line and aren't sure who'll move first. Trent broke it with a question. "You're in the design department, right?" Cole blinked. "How'd you?" "I've seen you around campus," Trent said easily. "You always sit on the fountain edge, sketching during lunch." "I noticed." Cole turned to the window to hide his grin. "You noticed, huh?" Trent's voice dipped lower. "Hard not to." The words sat in the air, heavy and electric. Cole's pulse jumped again. He tried to play it cool, drumming his fingers on his knee. "So, you've been watching me?" Trent's mouth curved, slow and amused. "Maybe." Cole laughed softly, shaking his head. "Wow, stalker vibes." Trent chuckled. "If I were stalking you, you'd know." Cole risked a glance, and immediately wished he hadn't. Trent's smirk had softened into something else, something warmer. His eyes lingered on Cole a beat too long before he turned back to the road. They pulled up in front of Cole's dorm. The night was quiet except for crickets and the faint hum of passing cars. Cole's hand hesitated on the door handle, not wanting to open it yet. "Well," he said finally, "thanks for the ride, and for, rescuing me from the world's most painful date." "Anytime," Trent replied, leaning slightly toward him. "Maybe next time we skip the blind date part." Cole smiled nervously. "And go straight to the rescue?" "Something like that." Their hands brushed when Cole reached for his bag. A light, accidental touch that felt anything but accidental. Cole froze. The air between them thickened again, charged with something unsaid but understood. Trent's voice lowered. "You should go before I do something you'll overthink later." Cole met his eyes. "Like what?" Trent's lips curved into a slow grin. "Exactly that." For a heartbeat, neither moved. The city blurred beyond the windshield. All that existed was that tiny space between them. Finally, Trent leaned back, his tone teasing again. "Good night, Cole." Cole exhaled, heart pounding. "Night, Trent." He stepped out of the car, the cool air hitting his flushed skin. As Trent drove off, Cole stood on the curb, watching the taillights disappear around the corner. He was supposed to have a date tonight, but somehow, it felt like the real one just ended. Chapter 4. Unwanted Distractions. Cole was trying really hard not to think about Trent Hollis. Unfortunately, his brain didn't care about effort. It had been 3 days since that night. The cab ride, the quiet tension, the way Trent's hand had brushed his. And yet, every time Cole tried to focus on his design sketches, all he saw was the faint smirk and blue-eyed stare of the guy who'd turned his whole week upside down. "Dude," his roommate groaned from the other bed. "You've been erasing the same line for 10 minutes. Are you possessed?" Cole looked down at his sketchbook. He'd been shading a figure that looked suspiciously like Trent. "Great. Just, working on anatomy," he mumbled, flipping the page before anyone else could see. The universe apparently had a sense of humor, because that same morning, when Cole grabbed his usual coffee before class, Trent was there, at his cafe, in line, looking like he owned the place. Cole froze. Trent turned, noticed him instantly, and that trademark grin appeared. "Hey, coffee guy." Cole blinked. "Pretty sure you're the coffee guy." Trent stepped aside, gesturing to the counter. "After you. Don't want to distract you from your very serious morning routine." Cole raised an eyebrow. "You think you're a distraction?" Trent leaned closer, voice dropping low. "I know I am." Cole's pulse skipped. "Wow, someone's confident." Trent smiled lazily. "You say that like it's a bad thing." The barista called their names almost at the same time, and for a split second, their hands brushed again as they both reached for the pickup counter. Cole could swear he felt electricity. He muttered, "You always this smooth?" Trent winked. "Only when it works." By the time Cole got to class, his heart still hadn't calmed down. It didn't help that Trent seemed to pop up everywhere after that, like he'd somehow synced his entire schedule to Cole's. Library, Trent. Gym, Trent. Even the cafeteria. Cole tried to ignore it, but Trent wasn't subtle. He'd nod, smile, or worse, sit near him with that casual confidence that made everyone else fade into the background. By the end of the week, Cole gave up pretending. Friday afternoon, he found himself at an open studio session, working late on a design project. His earphones were in, music playing low, when a shadow stretched across the table. He looked up, and there he was again. Trent leaned over his sketchbook, wearing that same black jacket, the scent of cedar and rain clinging to him. "You're good," he said quietly, eyes scanning the lines of the drawing. "You've got style." Cole swallowed. "You keep sneaking up on me." Trent smiled. "If I wanted to sneak, you wouldn't hear me." Cole rolled his eyes. "You're so charming," Trent offered. "Annoying?" Cole shot back, but his voice softened at the edges. Trent chuckled, leaning in closer, close enough that Cole could feel the warmth of his breath on his cheek. "You sure about that?" Cole's pencil stilled. He turned slightly, eyes locking with Trent's. The air felt heavier, like the room itself had stopped breathing. "You really shouldn't," Cole started. "Get this close." Trent finished, his voice a low whisper. Cole's heartbeat went wild. He shifted slightly, trying to sound casual. "Yeah, that." Trent's grin turned soft. "Then tell me to back up." Cole's lips parted, but no sound came out. He didn't. Instead, they stayed there, close enough to feel the hum of something dangerous, something that couldn't be easily labeled. Trent finally straightened, breaking the tension with a quiet laugh. "You're easy to fluster." Cole glared, though his ears burned. "You're impossible." Trent gave him a half smile, stepping backward. "And yet, you're still not telling me to leave." He started toward the door, hands in his pockets. "See you around, artist." Cole exhaled slowly, staring at the space where Trent had just been. His pulse still hadn't slowed. He was supposed to be sketching. Instead, all he could think about was the way Trent said his name like it meant something. Chapter 5. Rain and Confessions. The storm started without warning. One minute, Cole was walking back to his dorm with his hoodie pulled tight around him. The next, the sky cracked open like it had been waiting all day to pour. He sprinted for the nearest bus stop, sneakers splashing through puddles, hair plastered to his forehead. When he finally ducked under the shelter, he was breathless and half-soaked, and completely unprepared for who was already standing there. Trent, black jacket, drenched hair, and that same maddeningly calm expression, like he was somehow immune to bad weather. Cole blinked through the rain. "You've got to be kidding me." Trent grinned. "Hey, stranger. Do you just appear everywhere I go now?" "Only during natural disasters," Trent said, voice smooth. "Adds to the drama." Cole huffed, laughing despite himself. The rain was loud against the roof, a steady drum that filled the silence between them. Trent ran a hand through his wet hair, pushing it back, and Cole found himself staring. His shirt clung to his chest. Droplets slid down his neck in lazy trails. Cole tore his gaze away immediately. "Nope, not going there." But of course Trent noticed. "You good?" he asked, tone teasing. "Fine," Cole said too quickly. "Totally fine." Trent's smile softened. "You're a terrible liar," You know that? Yeah, I've been told. They stood side by side, rain misting around them, the air thick with something unspoken. Finally, Trent said quietly, "You've been avoiding me." Cole's breath hitched. "I what? No, I haven't." Trent gave him a look that said, "Really? You've been dodging me all week." Cole shrugged, staring at the slick pavement. "You're everywhere, man. It's hard not to dodge you." "That's not it," Trent said, stepping a little closer. "You don't avoid people unless they get under your skin." Cole let out a short laugh, trying to sound casual. "You think you get under my skin?" Trent's voice dropped, low and steady. "I know I do." Cole's heart thudded. The sound of rain faded beneath the rush of blood in his ears. Trent was closer now, not touching, but close enough that Cole could feel the warmth radiating off him through the cool, damp air. "You shouldn't say things like that," Cole murmured. "Why not?" "Because you just broke up with someone." Trent's expression shifted, a flash of something raw behind his eyes. "Yeah, I did. And that's exactly why I'm trying not to mess this up." Cole frowned, confused. "Mess what up?" Trent's gaze flicked down to his lips, then back up. "This, whatever it is that's happening between us." The words hit harder than they should have. Cole's throat went dry. "Trent." "I'm serious, Cole," Trent interrupted, voice rougher now. "You've been in my head since that night. I can't explain it, and maybe I shouldn't even try, but—" He stopped himself, breathing out a quiet laugh. "Your trouble." Cole smiled faintly. "You say that like it's a bad thing." Trent's eyes softened. "It's not." For a long second, they just stood there, the rain echoing around them, neither moving, both waiting for the other to break the spell. Then Trent leaned in, close enough for Cole to feel his breath against his cheek. His voice dropped to a whisper. "If I kissed you right now," he said, "would you stop me?" Cole froze. His pulse roared in his ears. He wanted to say no. He wanted to say yes. Instead, he whispered, "You shouldn't." Trent's jaw tightened. He nodded slowly, stepping back. Just an inch, but it felt like a mile. "Yeah," he said softly. "You're right." The rain eased into a drizzle, leaving only the sound of distant thunder and the ache of everything unsaid. Trent ran a hand through his hair again, glancing toward the street. "Bus is coming." Cole looked down, still trying to catch his breath. "Trent." Trent gave a small, bittersweet smile. "Not yet," he murmured. "When I kiss you, I don't want it to be because I'm trying to forget someone else." And just like that, he stepped out into the rain, leaving Cole standing under the shelter, heart racing, lips tingling from a kiss that never happened. Chapter 6. Tension between the lines. Cole thought the rain that night would have washed everything away. The confusion, the near miss, the look in Trent's eyes when he said not yet. But it didn't. If anything, it made everything worse. Now, every time Cole saw him on campus, in the cafe line, at the gym, or sprawled lazily under a tree with his earbuds in, it felt like his pulse forgot what it was supposed to do. He tried to play it cool, tried to act like nothing had changed. But of course, Trent had that infuriating smirk that said he knew. It started again in the library. Cole had a literature paper due, and the quiet buzz of the place usually helped him focus. But when he found his usual spot already occupied by a familiar tall frame, legs stretched out, hoodie pulled low, pen tapping lazily against a notebook, he nearly turned around on instinct. Trent looked up. "Hey, stranger." Cole sighed. "You again." "Don't sound so thrilled," Trent said, grinning. "You can sit. I don't bite." "That's debatable." Trent chuckled, gesturing to the seat across from him. "Come on, Harrington. I'll even share my notes." Cole hesitated before dropping his backpack down and sitting. "If you're gonna distract me, I'm leaving." "Me? Distracting?" Trent leaned forward, resting his chin on his hand. "You give me too much credit." Cole rolled his eyes, but his mouth twitched. "You really enjoy getting under my skin, don't you?" "Only because you make it fun." Cole exhaled through a small laugh, trying not to meet his gaze. "You're impossible." "And yet," Trent said, You're still sitting here. Cole opened his laptop and started typing or pretending to. He could feel Trent watching him, the weight of that attention steady and warm. After a few minutes, he glanced up. "What?" he asked. Trent tilted his head. "You look different when you're trying not to smile." Cole blinked. "What does that even mean?" "It means," Trent said, voice dropping just a bit, "you're cute when you're pretending you don't like me." The words hit like a spark to dry grass. Cole felt his cheeks heat before he could help it. "You're so full of yourself." "Not full," Trent said easily. "Just observant." "Observant, my ass." Trent smirked. "You offering a demonstration?" Cole froze mid-eye roll, caught off guard by how smoothly Trent had said it. Teasing but charged, the kind of comment that wasn't just a joke. His heartbeat stumbled, and for a second, he didn't trust himself to respond. Trent must have seen that flicker, because his expression softened again. "Relax," he said quietly. "I'm just messing with you." "Yeah, right?" Cole muttered, pretending to focus on his screen again. But the air between them was thick now. Every small movement, the brush of a sleeve, the sound of Trent's low laugh, seemed to pull Cole in further. Minutes slipped by, but the tension didn't fade. It built, a silent rhythm neither of them could quite stop. Later that evening, they walked out together. The sky was orange with sunset, painting long shadows across the campus paths. "So," Trent said, hands tucked into his jacket pockets. "Still pretending you don't like me?" Cole shot him a look. "Still pretending you don't flirt with everyone?" Trent chuckled. "Touché. But for the record, I don't flirt with everyone." "Oh, right. Just me." "Exactly." Cole groaned. "You're unbelievable." "Thank you." They stopped at the steps leading to Cole's dorm. The air was cooler now, tinged with that faint smell of rain and cut grass. Cole shifted awkwardly, trying not to notice how Trent's eyes kept drifting toward him. "Well," Cole said, "thanks for the, library banter." Trent smiled, a slow, lazy curve of his mouth. "Anytime." Cole turned to go, but Trent's voice followed him softly. "Hey, Cole." He looked back. Trent was standing a few feet away, the fading sunlight catching the edge of his jawline. His hair a tousled mess. "I meant what I said," Trent said. "About not wanting to mess this up." Cole swallowed. "You're not exactly helping." Trent took a step closer, but stopped just short of touching him. "Maybe not. But I'm not walking away this time." For a moment, neither spoke. The quiet stretched between them, electric, heavy, full of everything they weren't saying. Then Cole smiled faintly. "You're really bad at giving people space." Trent grinned. "Only when I don't want it." Cole shook his head, turned, and walked up the steps. Pulse racing, heart pounding, a half-smile tugging at his lips. He didn't see it, but Trent stood there for a while longer, watching the light fade and whispering something to himself that Cole would never hear. Chapter 7. The Almost Kiss. Friday night came with the promise of nothing special. Cole told himself he'd stay in, maybe catch up on his project, maybe order takeout, maybe not think about Trent Hollis for once. But when his phone buzzed, and Trent's name flashed on screen, all that willpower dissolved faster than snow on asphalt. "Trent, you free tonight?" Cole, "Maybe." "Why?" "Trent, there's a campus bonfire at West Hill. Music, drinks, bad decisions." "Cole, you're selling it real well." "Trent, you coming or what?" Cole stared at the message for a while, sighed, and finally typed back. "Cole, fine. But if someone starts singing with a guitar, I'm leaving." "Trent, deal. See you there, trouble." The bonfire flickered bright against the cool night. Music drifted through the trees, and laughter echoed across the open field. Cole found Trent easily, leaning against a log, firelight catching the curve of his jaw, that confident, careless grin already in place. When Trent saw him, his eyes lit up. "Didn't think you'd actually come." "Yeah. Well," Cole said, stuffing his hands in his pockets, "I needed a break from pretending to like my roommates." Trent chuckled. "Good call. I'm way more fun." Cole snorted. "Debatable." They stood together near the flames, the crowd around them fading into background noise. The heat from the fire painted everything in shades of gold. Trent's skin, his hair, even the small smirk tugging at his lips. "Want a drink?" Trent asked, offering a cup. Cole eyed it warily. "What's in it?" "Nothing illegal. Probably." "Comforting," Cole muttered, but took a sip anyway. Trent laughed. "You trust me too easily." "I don't trust you at all." "Then why are you here?" Cole opened his mouth, but nothing came out. Why was he here? Maybe because the air around Trent always felt like gravity. Pulling, steady, impossible to escape. "Maybe I was bored," Cole said finally. Trent stepped a little closer, eyes gleaming in the firelight. "Liar." Cole's heart jumped. "Excuse me?" "You weren't bored," Trent said softly. "You wanted to see me." Cole huffed, pretending to laugh. "You really have no ego issues, do you?" Trent just smiled. "None at all." As the night wore on, the crowd thinned. The fire burned lower, embers glowing like quiet stars. Cole sat on one of the logs, arms resting on his knees, watching the flames dance. Trent sat beside him, close enough that their shoulders brushed now and then. Neither of them said much. They didn't need to. Every time Cole glanced over, Trent was already looking at him. Finally, Trent broke the silence. "You ever get tired of pretending?" Cole frowned. "Pretending what?" "That you don't feel something when I look at you like this." Cole's throat tightened. "You shouldn't say stuff like that." "Why not?" "Because it messes with my head." Trent leaned in slightly, voice low. "Maybe your head needs a little messing." Cole exhaled sharply, eyes flicking up to meet his. "You're impossible." "And yet," Trent murmured, "you're still here." He reached up, brushing a drop of ash off Cole's sleeve, his fingers lingering just a little too long. Cole felt his pulse spike. The world shrank to the space between them, to the whisper of fire and breath and heartbeat. Trent's gaze dropped, from Cole's eyes to his lips, and for one electric moment, they both leaned in. The air hummed. Cole's breath caught. Trent's hand brushed his jaw. Their noses nearly touched. Then someone shouted from across the field, breaking the spell. "Trent, you coming, man?" They froze. Trent blinked, pulled back, and let out a quiet laugh, running a hand through his hair. "Talk about timing." Cole swallowed, trying to steady himself. "Guess the universe isn't on your side tonight. Or maybe it's saving me from something dangerous." Cole managed a smirk. "You're scared of me now?" Trent's eyes lingered on him, warm and unreadable. "Not scared," he said softly. "Just trying not to cross a line I can't uncross." Cole looked down, heart still racing. "You're terrible at not crossing lines." Trent smiled faintly. "Yeah," he said. "I know." He stood, offered his hand. "Come on. I'll walk you back." They walked in silence, the bonfire glow fading behind them. The campus was quiet now, lamplight and shadows and the sound of their footsteps in sync. At Cole's dorm, Trent stopped. "So," he said, stuffing his hands into his pockets. "Still pretending?" Cole hesitated, then smiled, soft, nervous, honest. "Maybe a little less than before." Trent's grin returned, slow and dangerous. "Progress." And before Cole could reply, Trent leaned down. Not quite a kiss, just a whisper near his ear. "Good night, trouble." Then he turned and walked away, leaving Cole breathless under the lamplight, the ghost of that almost kiss still burning on his skin. Chapter 8. The night we stopped pretending. Cole told himself it was just another Saturday. No big deal. No danger. Just a casual study night at Trent's apartment, because apparently that's what friends did now. Except friends didn't spend an hour trying to decide what shirt didn't make them look like they cared too much. And friends definitely didn't spend the entire walk over replaying the almost kiss from the bonfire like it was a scene stuck on repeat. Trent's apartment was warm and full of light when Cole arrived. Music hummed softly from a speaker. Something slow, a little bluesy. Trent was in the kitchen, sleeves rolled up, leaning against the counter with a mug in hand. "You made it," Trent said, that familiar half-smile already tugging at his lips. Cole shut the door behind him. Yeah, well, you promised pizza and notes. I'm not one to turn down free food and academic salvation. Trent chuckled. I keep my promises. Mostly. Cole raised an eyebrow. Mostly. Trent's grin turned teasing. Guess you'll have to stick around to find out. Cole's pulse jumped. Great, he thought. We're not even 5 minutes in and he's already doing this. He dropped his bag on the couch. So, where's the pizza? Trent nodded toward the coffee table. Right there. And the notes. See? I'm a man of my word. Cole sat down, flipping through the papers, though he barely registered a single line of text. Trent sat beside him, close enough that their knees brushed. You good? Trent asked, watching him. Cole kept his eyes on the paper. Yeah, totally. Just, focusing. On what? The notes or me? Cole groaned. Do you ever turn it off? Trent leaned back, smiling. Why would I? Because it's distracting. That's the point. Cole shot him a look, but Trent's grin only widened. You know, for someone who claims I'm annoying, Trent said, voice low and playful, you keep coming back. That's because you guilt-trip me with pizza. Trent laughed. Right? Pizza. That's what keeps you here. Yep, Cole said firmly. Totally just pizza. Sure, Cole. Their eyes met and stayed there. The music filled the silence, soft and slow. Trent's gaze flicked from Cole's eyes down to his lips, and suddenly the air felt heavier, thicker. Cole's throat went dry. He looked away first. You're doing it again. Doing what? That thing. What thing? The look. Trent smirked. You mean this one? Cole groaned. You're impossible. And you're blushing, Trent murmured. I am not. Trent chuckled under his breath, leaning closer. You really are. Cole turned, meaning to tell him to knock it off, but Trent was already inches away. His voice dropped to a whisper. Still pretending you don't want this? Cole froze. Trent. Because I'm done pretending, Trent said softly. You can push me away if you want. Just don't lie about what this is. The room was quiet except for the steady beat of music. Cole's heart hammered. Every nerve screamed at him to say something, but his body had already decided for him. He didn't move away. He didn't speak. He just let Trent's breath brush his cheek, close enough that every exhale felt like static. And then, finally, Trent's lips met his. The kiss was slow, deep, hesitant at first, like both of them were testing a line they already knew they'd crossed. Cole's hands curled into Trent's shirt, pulling him closer without meaning to. The papers on the table rustled and fell, forgotten. When they finally broke apart, both of them were breathing hard. Cole's face was flushed. Trent's eyes were darker than he'd ever seen them. Well, Trent said, voice rough around the edges. Guess we're officially bad at pretending. Cole exhaled a shaky laugh. You think? Trent smiled, brushing a thumb across Cole's jaw. You're trouble, Harrington. Yeah, Cole whispered. But you like trouble. Maybe, Trent said. Or maybe I just like you. For once, Cole didn't argue. He just leaned in again, softer this time, slower, the kind of kiss that didn't need to prove anything. Outside, the city hummed in quiet rhythm. Inside, everything else melted into the steady pulse of two hearts that had finally stopped pretending. Chapter 9. The morning after everything changed. Cole woke to the faint sound of rain against the window and the warmth of someone beside him. For a moment, he thought he was dreaming. The steady rhythm of breathing, the faint smell of coffee and cedar shampoo, the weight of a lazy arm draped over his waist. But then he opened his eyes, and there he was, Trent, half asleep, hair a mess, lips curved in the ghost of a smile. The early morning light spilled across his bare shoulders, and Cole's chest tightened. It wasn't supposed to feel like this. It wasn't supposed to feel this right. Cole lay still, careful not to wake him, heart thrumming in his chest. Every part of him buzzed with the memory of last night. The hesitant touches, the laughter between kisses, the way Trent had looked at him like he'd been waiting a long time to stop pretending. He'd lost count of how many times he'd told himself not to fall. But now, here he was already halfway gone. Trent stirred, mumbling something incoherent before opening his eyes. When his gaze found Cole, his grin spread slow and easy. "Morning," Trent said, voice still rough with sleep. "Morning," Cole replied, trying, and failing, to sound casual. Trent stretched, muscles flexing under the blanket, and Cole immediately looked away. "Don't tell me you're shy now," Trent teased. "I'm not shy," Cole said quickly. "Just recalibrating." "Recalibrating," Trent repeated with a smirk. "That what they're calling it now?" Cole groaned and threw a pillow at him. Trent caught it, laughing. The sound was deep and warm, the kind of laugh that filled a room. Then quieter, Trent said, "You okay?" Cole looked at him, caught off guard by the softness in his tone. "Yeah, why wouldn't I be?" "I don't know," Trent said. "Last night was a lot. Didn't want you to wake up regretting it." Cole's chest tightened. "You regret it?" Trent shook his head instantly. "Not even close." "Good," Cole murmured. "Because I don't either." They shared a small, shy smile, one that said more than either dared to admit out loud. An hour later, they sat in Trent's kitchen, mugs of coffee between them, the rain still tapping gently on the window. Cole wore one of Trent's hoodies, sleeves hanging past his hands. "You make terrible coffee," Cole said, wrinkling his nose after a sip. Trent grinned. "Excuse me? I'm serious. It tastes like burnt homework." Trent leaned against the counter, crossing his arms. "You're welcome to make it yourself next time." Cole raised an eyebrow. "Next time?" Trent shrugged, playful but careful. "Assuming there is a next time." Cole smirked. "You sound confident." "Not confident," Trent said. "Hopeful." The air between them softened again. Quieter, gentler now. The kind of quiet that meant something. Cole set his mug down. "You know people are going to talk, right? Once they see us together." Trent's expression shifted. Less teasing, more thoughtful. "Let them. You don't care about what people think." "No." He hesitated. "About you?" "Yeah. That I care about." Cole felt his face warm again. "You're really bad at being casual." "Guess I'm not built for halfway things," Trent said simply. Cole's smile faded into something smaller, more sincere. "Neither am I." For a long moment they just looked at each other, the kind of look that felt like an unspoken promise. Trent stepped closer, brushing a strand of hair from Cole's forehead. "You realize this changes everything, right?" Cole nodded. "Yeah, and for once I think I'm okay with that." Trent's thumb traced lightly along his jaw. "Good, because I'm not planning on pretending we're just friends anymore." "Guess we're past that stage," Cole said softly. "Way past." And when Trent leaned in again, this time for a slow, unhurried kiss, it didn't feel like crossing a line anymore. It felt like finding where they were meant to be all along. Chapter 10. More than just a moment. By Monday morning, campus felt different. It wasn't anything huge. The same crowded paths, the same rush of students with coffee cups and earbuds. But to Cole, it felt like the whole world had tilted slightly. Maybe it was because Trent had dropped him off that morning. Not hiding it, not sneaking around, just being there. Or maybe it was because Trent had kissed him goodbye right there by the fountain. Quick and casual but unmistakably real. No hesitation this time. No pretending. Cole spent most of the day trying to focus in class, but his brain had other plans. Every time he thought of that kiss, a stupid grin crept onto his face. He was doomed. By the time he walked into the student lounge that afternoon, half his friends were already giving him knowing looks. "Okay," his roommate Ben said, grinning like a shark. "Spill." Cole blinked. "Spill what?" "Oh, come on. You think we didn't see you with Trent Hollis this morning?" The entire quad saw. Cole groaned, sinking into a chair. "Fantastic." "So," Ben continued, leaning forward, "how long has that been going on?" Cole tried to play it cool, though the heat creeping up his neck gave him away instantly. "Not long." Ben smirked. "Judging by that face, it's definitely long enough. Can we not make this a thing?" Cole muttered, hiding behind his coffee. "Oh, it's already a thing," Ben said. "Half the campus is talking about how the hottest guy around is suddenly off the market." Cole nearly choked. "He's not, we're not." "Aha," Ben said. "Tell that to the way he looked at you this morning." Cole sighed. "You people need new hobbies." "Maybe," Ben said. "But honestly, you look happier than I've ever seen you." That shut him up. Because Ben was right, he was happy. Not in the giddy, temporary way that came and went with a crush, but in that quiet, steady way that felt real. That evening, as the sun dipped behind the campus rooftops, Cole met Trent outside the library. Trent leaned against a pillar, hands in his pockets, that easy grin waiting just for him. "Hey, Trouble." Cole smiled. "You know, that nickname's starting to sound less like an insult." "Wasn't meant as one," Trent said. "You've been trouble since the moment I met you." Cole stepped closer, pretending to frown. "And you like that?" "Love it." They started walking, no destination, just letting the campus lights guide them. The air was cool, the kind of evening that hinted at fall. "You know," Cole said, "this started out as a blind date gone wrong." Trent chuckled. "Yeah, you were supposed to meet a girl, right?" Cole nodded. "And instead, I ended up staring at the guy sitting next to her table." Trent smirked. "Can't say I mind how that turned out." Cole laughed softly. "You really are impossible." "Maybe," Trent said, "but you're the one who fell for me." Cole shot him a look. "That's debatable." Trent grinned, looping an arm casually around his shoulders as they walked. "You can debate it all you want, Harrington. I already know." Cole didn't argue. He just leaned into him a little, enough to make Trent glance down, surprised but smiling. For a moment, it felt like everything had slowed down. The night air, the sound of their footsteps, the quiet ease between them. No pretense, no tension. Just two people who'd stopped pretending to be anything but what they were. Later, they sat by the campus fountain, the same spot where Trent had kissed him that morning. The water shimmered under the lights, reflecting their faces in soft ripples. Trent nudged him lightly. "So what are we?" Cole looked at him, smirking. "You mean label kind of what, or emotional crisis kind of what?" "Both." Cole chuckled. "We're figuring it out." Trent raised an eyebrow. "That's your official answer?" "For now." Trent leaned in, brushing his thumb against Cole's hand. "I can work with that." Cole smiled. "Good, because I'm not going anywhere." Trent's grin turned soft. "Neither am I." And when their lips met again, unhurried, sure, warm, it didn't feel like a question anymore. Felt like a promise. As the night settled around them, Cole thought about how strange life could be. How a blind date with a stranger had led him here, to someone who saw him clearer than he saw himself. It hadn't been perfect. It had been messy, unexpected, and a little reckless. But maybe that's exactly what made it real. Because sometimes love doesn't show up where you expect it. Sometimes it's sitting at the next table, waiting for you to stop pretending and finally look up.